Hello everyone, my name is Zoyamani and you're watching my channel Blank Paper. In today's video, I'm going to be revealing my favorite Korean albums, artists, songs of 2016. I thought this video would be really fun, especially because it's something I bond over with my sisters. I have 3 sisters for those of you who don't know. We love to talk and fangirl over K-pop and appreciate good music. I thought it'd be fun to kind of share that part of my life with you guys since I've mentioned K-pop a lot on this channel but haven't really delved into it. So this is my first K-pop related video and I'm hoping it will be a lot of fun. As I share my favorites, I hope you guys share in the comment section down below what some of your K-pop favorites are of 2016, because I know my list is in no way comprehensive and it's very subjective and personal to my taste and just the music that was on my radar last year. So I'm sure there's lots of great music that I maybe never even listened to in 2016. So please feel free to share and discuss what some of your favorites were if you listen to K-pop. And if this is your first time being exposed to K-pop, Korean pop music, I hope that I'm able to share some really good starters with you, like, you know, some good music to get you going if you've never listened to K-pop before. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Again, I'm going to be referencing my bullet journal for this. I just wrote down like a ton of notes just to keep myself focused because I have a tendency to ramble and I actually don't have a lot of time to film this video. As you may be able to tell, the sun is setting and casting all sorts of shadows, so I'm going to try to get this done in a timely manner. But at the same time, I'm sure this is actually going to be a pretty long video, so feel free to get some tea, some food, which is probably what I should have done before filming this because I'm starving. But we're gonna do it. Whew. All right, let's go. So firstly, I want to talk about solo artists, and I'm going to start off with like female solo artists. One of my favorites of 2016 was Tiffany of the girl group Girls' Generation. It's alright. She had a solo project this year. I thought that it really helped to solidify her as a mature K-pop artist and not so much as a girly K-pop idol, which I think was a bit of her image in Girls' Generation. And I think this album helped her to debut as more of an artist. I found that the common thread throughout her album was that it was 80s inspired. As you all know, I love 80s synth pop. It's really like nostalgic for me and gives me warm fuzzy feelings. So this album was definitely one of my favorites. I've listened to it through and through. The title track of her album was I Just Wanna Dance. I couldn't help but draw the parallels between her song and Whitney Houston's I Wanna Dance With Somebody. She was clearly inspired. This album was a really great nod to the 80s, but she also kept it modern and fun and meshed the two together really well. She also had a single released with SM Station. It wasn't on her album, but I thought it stayed with the theme of her album and the 80s vibe, and that was Heartbreak Hotel featuring Simon Dominic. The synths in this track just give you feelings, like the way it starts. I have to play some of it for you. This part right here. And then my favorite song off of her album is definitely What Do I Do? And actually the English version, I really like it. I just feel like she captured the sound of the 80s so well. We're really racing against the clock right now, but I don't want to rush this. Ooh. One of my favorite female K-pop artists is Hyolyn of the group Sistar. Now, she's done a solo project before and actually owned that album, but to be honest, I was really disappointed with her comeback. I wasn't really a fan of Paradise, and then her release Love Like This featuring Joki. I could appreciate the song, but after hearing it a couple times, I didn't really go back to it. But her release OneStep featuring Jimin Park, I was so here for. Hyolyn, her voice is really suited for R&B, and I felt like with Paradise, it was like a very Hyolyn pop track, and I don't know, it wasn't my favorite, but I feel like she really shines when she does like R&B vocals. And because Jimin Park is also a Korean artist that is really influenced by R&B, he was just perfect for this track. Oh my gosh, I just have to play some of it. Hyolyn, she did it again with this song. I really would have loved to hear like a really full cohesive like R&B album or like a mini album, but we didn't get it. But this song was great. Speaking of female K-pop artists doing the style of R&B music, Hoody. 지금 와서 생각해보면 참 왜 그랬는지 got me crazy. 문을 열고 나와 고개를 들어보니 날 보는. You guys, don't sleep on Hoody. She's on the label AOMG, Jimin Park's label. She has such a great voice. Like her tone is just so warm, and it reminds me of like Ciara, and I don't know, in 2016 she came out with the singles Like You and By Your Side, and not only is she a great vocalist, her music videos are so artistic and well done and beautiful, and they tell a story, and I really appreciate that. Her songs just make you feel some type of way, like and then this is By Your Side. But yeah, that's Hoody. I feel like all my favorite female solo artists of 2016 did R&B, because my next favorite is Ailee. 나의 손을 잡던 그때의 손길이 헤아릴 수가 있을까요? 당신의 She had like a album in 2 parts, Soullight. You guys, don't sleep on Ailee either. Ailee, I feel like, is such an underrated artist, especially for being on such a major label like YG Entertainment. She came out with such a great album in 2016. Like every song was a hit. Every song was a single, in my opinion. There's a song called Official. It wasn't even like a single, and the song's a single. I featured Video in one of my episodes of the mood board. That's her song featuring Bobby. Breathe was featured in one of my mood boards. Hold My Hand was a song I wanted to feature but didn't. Again, Ehi, one of my favorite female solo artists of 2016. I want to say that is all for female solo artists. Oop, I lied. We have 2 more. I'm going to talk about these briefly because I didn't listen to their full albums, but I've heard rave reviews from them. So if you've listened to their albums, like, let me know like what you thought about it. The first one is Try by Jimin. That song really took me by surprise, and it made me realize like how much I've really just not been paying attention to this girl, and her music is just so good. I was listening to Try and it really made my day. When I first listened to it, I just clicked on it by chance. Try by Jimin is definitely a song I would recommend to you guys. She's another very underrated artist. Ailee came back with her song Home, as you guys know. That song was on repeat for me, but I actually never listened to Ailee's full album. I like tried to sit down and do it a few times, but I was always interrupted, so I never like listened to her full album, but I heard great things about her album as well. So moving on, I'm gonna talk about male solo artists. I think all of you saw this coming, but J Park is clearly on the list. You won't think I'm Aquaman. So let's go for a drive. Oh yeah, girl, 내 몸에 힘들어. All I wanna do is kick it with you. So you wanna do you just like I should. I hope you know it. I hope you know it. He had so many singles that came out this year. I know I don't have the time to say all the things that I want to say about his album, Everything You Wanted. All those singles are off of that album. J Park. Every song he released was like became my song. Like that was my song while it was out until the next one came out. J Park has such a great R&B voice, and he's talked about like how he's very influenced by African American music and R&B especially. You can really see that he draws influences from Michael Jackson, from Usher, from Chris Brown. In fact, the music video for Aquaman is almost identical to the music video for New Flame by Usher and Chris Brown. That one I was like, am I the only one noticing this? You can really see the influence, and I feel like it brought his music up a level. I've always kind of followed J Park's music. He was kind of an artist that was a bit on the sidelines for me, but this year it was just like, Jay, he really brought it. Okay, you guys, and crushed it. Don't wanna fall in love. He came out with so much music this year. He had his single with Taeyeon, Don't Forget. Then he came out with his mini album Interlude. Then he came out with another mini album Wanderlust. They were all great. Crush just has such a unique sound within the K-pop world, at least. You can really hear his influence from like artists like Boyz II Men and Brian McKnight. And again, he talks about this a lot, like just like how influenced he's been by black music or Hoody. I feel like there's so few people that can do the style of music he does well in the K-pop world. They'll attempt it, but Crush really has kind of perfected the sound. I was listening to his album Wanderlust and I was just like, hold up, wait a minute now. Like, this sounds like Boyz II Men Christmas album. When he released it, I was listening to it around like the holidays. And so I was also listening to the Boyz II Men Christmas album on repeat. So I drew the comparison, but I'm just gonna play a part of his song Wanderlust and show you guys. Y'all heard that? Okay, now let me show you this. I'm so hungry right now. distracted for a moment. I feel like on top of that, Crush really, this year, like he had his classic R&B stuff that he was doing, but he also kind of ventured into the hip hop world. He incorporated some trap music into his album, and it was just very different for him. His music just went a little harder. He even did a collaboration with Zico and Dean, Bermuda Triangle, which I'll talk about a little bit later because it's also one of my favorites. Yeah, if you hear him in that, he was just like, I don't know, he was going in.
Crush.
I was completely here for Crush in 2016. For sure, one of my favorites. Oh my gosh, and then there was Dean. I didn't see it coming. I was not prepared. No one warned me. That's a lie, okay, I was warned. And in fact, it was a long time before I even got into Dean. Like I saw his music everywhere. Everyone was talking about his music in like the K-pop fan world. He can be a little bit hyped up, like a little overrated, but if you just like listen to his music for what it is without like thinking of all the hype, he's a really great artist. I think that was what was really unique about Dean, is he just came out the gate running, really established himself as an artist right from the debut, like just like right from the start. He was like, I'm an artist. If you haven't heard his album, you guys, if you just like listen to his song with some headphones on, it transports you and you feel like you're in the song. I love every track on his album. Let's see.
Sorry, your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Like it starts out like this. Y'all, check it out. Like, Dean, he was in so many collaborative efforts in 2016, which is really how I found out about him. So the first song I heard with him, I think, was Starlight by Taeyeon featuring Dean. His vocals on that track. Starlight was my jam for a long time, and then I finally checked out his music. Then he had July with Haze. Bermuda Triangle with Zico and Crush. His musicality, he's so creative with his layering of vocals. Again, he's another artist you can tell really studied up on his R&B. I just want to quickly do some like honorable mentions. They're not honorable mentions, like I actually really love them, but I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just running through these. But Bingino, he did Life in Color. That was my jam. I had it in one of my episodes of the mood board. June K, Think About You. Highly underrated song, incorporates dubstep. When's the last time you heard dubstep in like mainstream music? Very 2013. He did that. Like Yuh, I was just so surprised how underrated he was for being on a major label. Like he's on JYP, he's in the group 2PM. His music hardly has any views. Like, please check him out. And then Eric Nam with his album Interview, and then his single Can't Help Myself. guys. Good For You, I featured it in one of my videos. You know, I was really into that song, and I remember when I first heard it, it just made me so happy and it just brightened my day, because I remember I was having a really bad day when I first heard that song. It was just so sweet. It's such a sweet song, and I feel like that's kind of like Eric Nam's charm. Another artist to mention, and this is gonna be my final male artist of 2016, or my male solo artist anyway, and that's Mino with Body. Aside from some of the more mature content in that music video, just the like artistry of that music video alone, like the colors, the set design, and everything, like that was so well done. And like the song just like takes you, again, it kind of like takes you on a journey. Like, I don't know, Mino. All right, now we're starting to come to an end, starting to wrap it up, sort of. We're gonna talk about groups, and I'm gonna start off with girl groups and then end it off with guy groups.